I'm gonna go quiet and check audios.
Alright, we are officially started and streaming and green light and all that. So, hello all. Welcome to the 33rd multiplayer test. As a quick announcement, we have announced we are officially on Steam. We're declaring our early access should be available sometime in Q3 of 2021, and we hopefully will have some open play tests to a certain point, I mean limited play tests, before then, to show more of what we're doing. So, without further ado, I will get the server started, which is kind of how we end up going with things today. One of the big changes today is we're trying out a salvage beam, which is something new and different for what we've been doing. And of course doing some fixes that we came across last stream, but everything's been fixed. So, I'm just checking, and of course my cat wants to tear out all the cords and such. So I'm going to turn down the music because I realize that that's probably more overwhelming for people. Turn down the main volume too while I'm at it. Alright, that should about do it. So how's the audio levels?
Sounds pretty good thus far.
Alright.
And then I'm gonna go quiet again and see how I sound.
Fair enough. Alright, the server is up. Oh, I shouldn't actually. We're not doing enemies, so we're just doing each other, I guess.
Everything sounds pretty good.
Alright. I do have a question, though. For priorities, should we be working more on... We've been mostly working on the scenario system over the AI, but it's feeling that, like, obviously like anything else, everything needs to be worked on. I was curious what people were more interested in having as a priority.
I don't know. I actually would like to hear a second opinion before I speak.
I think we should push ahead with finishing out the salvage. Because once we have cargo bays hooked up, that means we have CMs in the game.
Well, we have cargo bays in the tech way. We don't have them hooked up.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. We have to hook everything up so that we can put salvage in there.
Okay. So it's Matt and Jordan on one team, and myself, Adam, and Paul on Alpha, right?
Yep. Today I'm gonna learn. I think it is good. I'm gonna learn how to adjust budgets as the War Master.
There you go. Alright, let's start her up. Should probably kill my thruster. Which also obviously puts me on War Master duty here.
That works for me.
Alright.
Orders accepted.
So I do want to at least show the salvage beams, if nothing else.
Again, that's the thing. We should totally like create a battlefield litter with stuff, and then like salvage it up and see if that like does what we're hoping it should do with frame rates and whatnot.
Well, I have actually put in some other optimization code to have it not send disabled ships once they're disabled.
Okay.
So we'll see what actually happens with that. Because let's face it, disabled ships just sort of drop out of the sky anyway.
Right. Mostly just what's running through my head is like we should definitely make sure that like once something's salvaged, it stops calculating it.
Yeah. Because it was still calculating the AI, it was still sending it across the network, it was still doing a lot of things, so. Oh, I see Rich has joined us. Hey, Rich.
Hi, Rich. It's like, oh, that's bad enough when like it's just disabled. It's like we certainly don't want it to be calculating for ships that do not exist anymore.
They exist as meat. You want to get super technical. Because they will feed your war factory, you know what I mean, with their juicy arm goodness.
First research lab is just about up. I should have reset the budget properly. First round.
Thank you for reminding me. I have to reset the budget. Well, it doesn't really matter right now anyway.
It's probably after the says computer 1 as being in charge. That's not true.
Yeah, well that's still legacy. We really have to start. We have to define what we want as the corporation screen, so when we start things, we can all like define what the corporations are. Which right now is just defaulted. I mean, I think I'm corporation 0. Now I know we discussed what we want in it, but we have to actually make it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's gonna be part of the early access, so it's like anything else. It's coming. It really is. It's gonna happen.
Hey, you have mines?
Cool.
Research complete.
Alright.
I assume I'm doing everything on the logistics side for people on my team.
Orders accepted.
I'll take the silence as a yes.
Take a minute, use my super hyper nav screen cheat powers to learn where Arthur is.
Yeah, that's one of those things I have to make sure it gets turned off. I mean, honestly, the stealth system has to be appropriately set up. Which reminds me, Adam, have you actually added any stealth items into the game yet? Into the tech web?
I have not.
Okay. I guess there'd be some sort of miscellaneous utility.
Complete.
Yeah.
Is kind of what we decided on.
Construction complete.
But we definitely should start seriously thinking about that, so that will be fixed and that'll become a thing.
Easy enough.
Task complete.
So here's the next question then.
Found them.
Well,
Jordan and others.
that's a good thing. Do you have any particular weapons or goodies you guys want?
Orders received.
Oh,
For research? Meaning Adam and Paul.
Shields.
Alright, well, believe it or not, I'm actually researching shields. I don't think it's done yet, obviously, but...
Matt, you're probably going to be running the fleet, so just research whatever you like.
Complete. Building complete.
Fair enough. We should have all the buildings momentarily.
Okie doke.
Research complete.
So you do have shields you want to start the design, by the way.
Guess I'll try making a ship design then.
Orders received.
Now, I will say the salvage beam does not really work on shielded ships.
Orders received.
So do keep that in mind. So if you want your stuff
Accepted.
protected from the green death, that's probably the way to do it.
Research complete.
Getting us a third reactor, and then I will get us another research lab.
Yeah. Speaking of doing stupid things.
Task complete.
Alright.
Orders received. City power low. Task complete.
I gotta figure out why the music stops. It shouldn't be stopping.
Task complete. Construction complete.
Alright.
Orders received.
Okay, I built a ship of doom, or ... of doom.
Right.
And wow, it's expensive.
Hey, Matt, the second research lab is thing, which means you can assign the research to it now.
Cool. Thank you.
Then I'm going to do a factory, and then I'm going to reset the budget to be more even. But hopefully, you know, in this time you'll have gotten together some of the money you need to start a couple ships.
Alright, I got 3 of them. There's Viper, which is basically your cheap fighter. The Iron Fist, which is like your standard shielded
City power low.
laser fighter, and Janitorial Staff, which is the experimental salvage beam ship.
Okay.
I love that.
Appropriately named.
I made that name. It was a slightly different joke when I wrote it, but it still works.
It works.
Orders accepted.
Okay, the factory's up. As good or bad as that might be.
Yep, make myself a ship.
Factory resources are being pulled.
Ooh, I crashed.
Really? Huh. Anybody else have problems?
I'm still in, apparently.
Now that is a surprise. Adam, are we doing anything in particular?
It happened when I dropped a ship into the factory queue.
Huh.
Well, on that note, Matt, the factory exists and the
Construction
income budget should be
complete.
set to 50/50.
It's building. There's 2 things in the queue. So you succeeded.
Okay, interesting.
I don't know
just
why.
threw a builder out in the queue and I appear to still
City
be here.
power low.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal with that is, but that, I mean, things happen, unfortunately.
Orders received.
Matt, have you dropped anything into the factory queue?
I
See?
did not, but Jordan did. And
Okay.
it didn't crash.
Yeah, that's true. He's climbing
Your
too.
ships are ready.
Well, there you go. Are you back in, Adam?
Yes, I am.
Okay, well then, yeah.
City power low.
Do we actually have a power problem? Let's get rid of the garbage here.
By the time you get to factories, I'd say less than 3 reactors is a problem.
Yeah, no, it's not very happy with me because I don't have enough power for this. You're quite right. I am working on the economy, guys. It'll get better.
Building complete.
Yeah, this is definitely. I definitely think like when cities are a little further away and the economy and the speed of things is a little more balanced, this part will be a bit less of a struggle
Orders received.
Yeah.
because it is a bit of a mad dash, and I think we've talked a bit about like the speed of actual like building buildings,
Mm-hmm.
and it's sort of like, but like if building buildings slows down, but the rate of material gain from the refinery and mines were to stay the same, that might actually feel a little better. Simply because at this point, like, I build buildings faster than I can produce the resources to build them.
City power low.
So how do I actually use this salvage beam?
It's like any other weapon. You have to have something targeted. Because of your range limit, it won't fire unless you're within 500 feet. But if you are, you'll grant the gift of green death.
Complete.
Okay. So I do need to target things.
Yes, otherwise it won't do dig. That's not great for a live stream, but there you go.
Please excuse our crassness. We're all a little tired here.
Yeah.
Orders received.
And on a different note, today's my son's birthday.
Happy birthday, Alex.
Yes, happy birthday to someone who's not here at the moment.
Pretty much.
So how old is he now?
17.
Getting there.
Yeah. probably just kick out the builder bot since it's sitting here anyway.
Oh, I'm freezing.
I crashed.
Any particular spot?
Make real location coordinates. It's another bad location.
Construction
Did something go
complete.
too far from the main sector?
Must have.
Crashed.
I also just froze.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there was nothing in particular going on at our base.
The only time that ever comes up is when something like breaches the sector. Like, Adam, were you going somewhere or something?
Yes, I was heading toward their base.
Well, that wouldn't have done it. I'm talking about something outside of
Research
the local
complete.
area. Well, come back in, see if it's a problem. If it is, then we'll start all over again, but...
Also,
Orders
that was.
received.
It happened when I dropped an item on the factory queue, but I think that must have been a coincidence.
Yeah, because that wasn't your first item on the factory
Your
queue.
ships are ready.
Yeah.
I noticed there was a ship on there already that, like, I didn't put there.
Yeah, previously when I crashed, it was the second item I put on the queue that did it for me.
Construction complete.
Might be a thing then.
Your ships are ready. Construction complete. Your ships are ready.
Oh, I forgot about this.
At least my builder bots already had a task when I crashed. Graphics are up, rejoining now.
Yes, you are. Come on. Okay. I guess we'll put it right there.
Orders received. Orders accepted.
Alright. So how's everybody's money? I have a decent amount, but I think everybody else has more. Paul's got a lot.
Yeah, looks like I'm rejoining.
Damn it, I'm gonna let you focus on the ships. I'm focusing on making our economy great.
Okay then.
Wow.
Construction complete.
What's a horribly depressing political pun, actually unintended?
Yeah. Yeah, let's not do that on the stream.
Building complete.
Yeah, no, that's... So I
Okay,
reallocated things a little bit. Paul, I'm going to take you down a little bit because you got... Okay, never mind, you
I
got...
just made a bunch.
You just made a bunch.
I just used my 5,000 cost ship.
Fair enough. Yeah, you were the one that was saying you had a very expensive ship, so there you go.
Yeah. I remembered last stream I made a ship that had way underpowered engines and anti-inertial thrusters, and steering it was a chug through like mud or something. So now I have a ship with 2 anti-inertials and 2 engines.
Fair enough.
We'll see what that does.
Probably won't do anything, you head up to speed.
Oh. Okay.
I guess that was a bug that never got addressed. Mine, I gotta make a list, check it twice, see who's naughty and nice, and actually take care of some things.
Research
Yeah,
complete.
there's whatever the lag thing is, I cannot capture the builder bot. As soon as I get close enough to touch it, it just literally warps away like thousands of feet.
That's because of the push.
Is it supposed to pull it towards me?
Yeah, it doesn't. You're right, it's supposed to. It doesn't. It's a bug. Or that. I sent...
Research
What really
complete.
needs to be done is the system needs to push, or actually do velocity as damage, and it doesn't. So it doesn't translate very well.
I order my ships to attack Adam's ship.
Alright, so this guy, I want to upgrade. Oops.
Orders accepted.
That can't be the only one we have. Where's the other one? Oh, there it is.
What weapons are on these ships, Matt?
The basic ones is just a beam level 1. I am making a ship with Orion Mark IIs now.
I don't think it has a weapon. I'm clicking, it's not doing anything.
Which ship are you in? Are you in the scrap machine?
I think.
Scrap machine is the salvage beam ship. So you need to have something targeted, and you need to be within 500 feet.
Barely 500 feet. Very close.
Orders accepted. Production complete.
All right, new ship.
I don't know what's happening.
Well, you're chasing around like a builder bot trying to salvage it, and I'm chasing you around trying to salvage you.
God.
Because this is what I have to work with, and apparently you cannot tell only salvage ships to actually attack a target.
No, that doesn't know what that is.
I don't know. When Matt says he's able to take over killing Adam, that I can go back to building a city.
Hold on one second. I'm trying to pump out some more ships here.
Construction
This new
complete.
ship steer's nice. I like this. This is good.
Construction complete.
Which one?
The
Orders
...
received. Construction complete. Orders accepted. Orders received. Construction complete. Research orders received. Construction complete. Research orders received. Construction
Looks like it kind of went
complete.
nuts with certain things here.
Research orders received. Construction complete. Research orders received. Construction complete.
That's a problem.
Research orders received. Construction complete.
Alright.
Research orders received. Construction
I don't know why this
complete.
isn't.
Research orders received.
Alright. Tell it to shut up.
This is not doing anything for me. Well, that's game over. Adam was with one salvage ship completely chased off all of my builder bots, even though he cannot actually do anything to them because they don't stop moving.
I don't
But
know.
nonetheless, I can't build the city anymore.
Well, can't you kick out another builder bot from their factory, or doesn't it work that
He
way?
is in my city.
Oh.
It would just run.
Just ordered my ships to attack at will, and for some reason they're flying away.
They've picked a different target.
Well, can't you just tell them to attack Adam or something?
Working on it.
Okay, so that's doing its thing.
So I'm assuming I should be able to like disassemble this building here, but it doesn't seem to be disassembling.
You gotta damage it first. You gotta hold
You
it.
need the building to be disabled.
Buildings don't get
Uh,
disabled anymore. I mean, there's no code to say, okay, if it's below half, I don't think you can disable a building right now. It's either destroyed or not. Oh, that's a good point.
Oh, Adam's apparently disabled over here. Well, his engines are out, but
So, Paul, how's your new ship?
It's cool. It's got 4 Orion Mark I's. The extra engines and thrusters seem to be
Cool.
helping out a lot.
now he's
Okay,
a
fair
reactor.
enough.
He can't keep salvaging stuff over here.
I'm not steering through molasses like last time.
Alright, I'm paused.
Uh,
Not great.
I love it. That builder bot was definitely coming in way too fast to stop itself, but because its pathing's not great, it just crashed into a building on the way in and dead stopped.
Working it.
I mean, not gonna lie,
I'm-
that's the tactic I've been using.
I noticed. I'm wondering if I should build turrets, not because they'll defend anything, but because they might convince the builder bots that they're safe.
That's probably true too.
Can you salvage your own stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm actually going to go and salvage my original ship.
Yeah, but you can't do anything with the money.
I don't need... No, I just want it to stop. I noticed, like, you know, when you hit, like, C1 whatever, it'll be included in the stuff. I want it to not.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah, we need to... Man, we should just make a checklist. Just to get rid of some of these outstanding stupidities that I know is still there. Alright. So it's just better. Oh, I guess we want that one.
Alright.
I just saw a boom.
Oh, that building took forever to be destroyed.
We got one boom. Alright, let me upgrade some factories here.
There we go.
People should be able to update their ships. I do have lasers too now. Mind you, I've been spending the entire time over here. I haven't even been looking at what has been happening at Casa El Jordan there.
Just Adam's been happening.
Yeah, he does that. He's very good at that.
Side note, disabled builder bots should stop being selected when I hit builder bot. They are not valid builder bots.
That's actually very true. That's actually very, very true. You're not wrong. Alright, so we have upgraded, well, one upgraded factory anyway. So,
We need more reactors, but we do have more advanced reactors now.
Well, one of the reactors got blown up, so I'm replacing it, but
So what does Research Network Mod do? Efficiency plus 10. Okay. So that's just for sharing? Adam?
Yep.
Okay.
Which one?
The Research Network Mod. That just increases the speed at which things share with each other, I guess?
Yep. Increases the contribution rate.
Fair enough.
Which factory is upgraded?
Both of them are, actually. At least one is, and then the other is in process thereof. Actually, I think it's... Alright. So... Yeah, my pillar bot's being dumb.
All right, Paul. I made a upgraded ship, Honor Guard.
Ooh.
Matt, I'm gonna take a second to upgrade the research labs.
Cool.
So Honor Guard has 2 Mark II lasers and 2 missiles, and
What's-
1.0 armor and 1.0 shields.
Okay, so look at the factory screen. Look at the second tier. What's with that weird text there for the time completion? I'm seeing accents and yen and weird font. I'm not
That's
seeing-
impressive.
It's a glitch.
It's a glitch.
Okay then.
Yeah, no, I'm seeing the same thing. It says Honor Gardens, that.
We are great on power, though, Matt.
Cthulhu fucking. Alright.
Should I try out the new ship, Adam?
Yeah, go ahead and take that one. Take that Honor Guard I just built. I'll take the next one.
Yeah, now it's actually finally deciding to upgrade the factory. Sorry about that.
Okay then.
Oh, I gotta get reactors too. Okay.
I might have just crashed an attempt to send Matt money. Yep, that's what happened.
Okay.
Hopefully the money at least arrived, Matt. Tried to give you 5,000 RMs.
Does anybody need money on our side?
I
I'm
shouldn't.
fine.
I haven't done anything since I made that one ship before.
Okay.
Adam, what
Yes.
makes this new ship special?
Matt, check to see if you got the money.
Good armor, good shields, and good weapons.
Maybe I
Cool.
did.
It's a little
Everything
slow.
you like in that
4,000
weapon.
before?
It's a little slow, but that's a compromise I had to make to get it under 250 space.
Okay then.
What was the question, Jordan?
You were about 4,000 RM before. I tried to send you 5, and it crashed me.
Oh
Did you-
yeah, I didn't. I definitely didn't get that.
Alright, then I might, because I have a lot of extra money, I might just increase your budget, because apparently I can still do that once I get back in. But I accrued a lot of money while I was chasing Adam around.
Mm-hmm. As one does.
Alright, logging back in. Okay, I'm back.
I guess I'll put it here. It's very strange, and the buildings are a lot more underground than usual. Now both factory queues should be, yeah, they're both going. They're definitely both cranking.
Mm-hmm.
Aries dropping some sick beats.
I wish the music was still running. No, I'm not out.
Those upgraded factories definitely make the difference.
Well, I'm glad you like them.
That's problems like the really expensive ships take forever to make with the marks with the tier 0 factory.
Alright, Matt, you are now receiving the majority of funds. As much as I can give you. And, oh yeah, it looks like our research labs have finished upgrading. Also having a bit of problem with selecting builder bots. When I select one of my local builder bots, it for some reason chooses to center on the distant and disabled one.
Yeah, I know it's just a... Do keep mentioning it though, because what usually I'm doing is I rewatch these live streams and I make notes,
Yeah,
because otherwise
so
I
yeah,
forget about them.
the separate things is the one is like, don't select disabled builder bots at all, and two, I don't know why it's centered. Because I'd understand like if it was, centering on it when I select it, but it's like, I'll have like, that's the disabled one, then I'll hit builder bot again, and it says, this is a good one, but centers on the one out there.
Right.
I do not know why.
There's a Jordan ship here.
Entirely possible.
I'm gonna shoot it.
There is. Please do. One of the things that was brought up in the discussions was that different people, unless you're the War Master, should only be able to control their own ships.
Okay, it's engineless.
What orders did you give all those ships, Paul?
I didn't give ship
I
orders.
gave them orders to go attack things, and evidently they said, well, the ship they were there to attack now died. I can bring them back, or you want them to
No.
come over?
That's fine. I just want to make sure that I knew what was going on there. They weren't just doing it on their own.
They kind of are. Paul killed the one that they were told to attack, and then, yeah. So now we actually have... Did we actually have any salvage ships? Can we go, like, disable the one that just got gacked?
Yeah, if you want to make janitorial staff.
Yeah, do you have any?
I do not, but it can always be made. Do you want me to pump one out?
Yeah, actually I do. Because I want to kind of see it in action, kind of thing.
Okay, janitorial staff will be up in 25 seconds.
Excellent.
I'm
Thanks, sir.
salvaging Adam's old chips, or attempting to. Like, the health has gotten down, but it doesn't seem to be de-rezzing.
Yeah, it's like first tier trying to get this stuff working, and yeah, it's got problems.
Oh, okay, and then I launched into this. Alright, that's really not worth attempting anymore.
Okay.
It got launched into the sky.
As one does.
I do think that, until we can command salvage from the nav screen, and possibly afterwards, we may want a target nearest enemy disabled ship.
What will probably end up happening is, well, that's a possibility too. But I hope to update the AI that if it knows this as a salvage beam, it'll just like systematically do things.
Yeah.
There's a lot of little mini upgrades that should happen but don't.
Oh yeah, it's just the thought running in my head is that, oh yeah, if you want to target a thing, if you want to target a disabled ship, you have to scroll through. So a button just for target nearest enemy disabled ship, or even just target nearest disabled ship, would probably not go unappreciated.
Yeah, no, you're probably not wrong, especially now that salvage is going to the thing. There's going to be a lot of code work that needs to be done on the salvage system. We're just like, this is the first time it's been active, which we knew there was going to be a problem. We were working on it even before the live stream started.
So T is supposed to target the nearest enemy ship, right?
Yeah, but it's target the nearest non-disabled ship.
Okay.
So it's not going to help you for salvaging.
I guess the ship is moving, but still considered disabled then.
Yeah, alright, we have incoming. According to this, it's a mobile. Basically, I think the anti-inertials are out, but everything else isn't.
Okay, yeah. I guess that the ship must have lost its thrusters and stalled engine because it's still creeping toward her base.
So what's the better ship, Adam, of Doom, or what's the good,
I don't know what Paul built, but I know that Honor Guard is solid.
Alright.
Of Doom has 4 Mark 1 Orion cannons, but it has 2 main thruster, 2 main engines, and 2 anti-inertial, so it's nimble.
Yeah,
Mostly because we have incoming, and I don't think there's anything at base that can handle it.
Mark II lasers are at the or in the Honor Guard. I'll
Okay.
turn around and come back to base.
Turn around.
Oh, we'll see.
I think almost. I think everything that's coming toward the base is basically crippled and just crawling on the ground.
Really?
Right.
Yeah.
That's a mobile. You're actually right. They're all mobile. Just crawling. Are you kidding me? All right, where's the janitorial staff? Go eat them, please. Actually, I think it just popped out. What is this popped out? This is what? Or this is the new stuff. Did you make the janitorial staff?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, these are honor guards.
It's the janitorial staff is kind of boxy looking.
Okay. Oh. Alright, I think I found it.
Honestly, you were mentioning earlier, like, what should be the next focus? I think the AI and storyteller are very important, but I think as a side note, there's a couple of little quality of life optimizations we could do with, like, why is the builder bot pulling from the warehouse sporadically?
I mean, why is the builder bot so lonely? Alright, I'm in the janitorial staff, because why not? And let's see if I can target this actual one that's in front of me. Maybe. Oh, just found it. Okay. Alright, so I gotta get within 500. And then I'll grant the Curse of Green Death. Since they're disabled, but I'm not sure if it's eating it or not. So what does people see from the screen anyway?
Hmm?
Do they see me actually, like, trying to eat this guy, or no? It's not doing very much to him. Oh, he's got shields! That's why he's not killing him. Oh, bloody hell. That's why... Alright, well, there's an answer.
I just got another one of those location crashes.
Crash.
Huh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, it could be our disabled builder bot, I think, was still, like, had a vector when it was disabled.
Hmm.
So that might have actually drifted somewhere really far away.
Fair enough. That's auto-saving. I thought we corrected the shields on this thing. Why are the shields on backwards? Where the hell? Alright.
Also, the stream is a little bit further behind. I'm now watching you attempt to salvage.
Yeah.
I think the salvage beam should perhaps be a little stronger.
Stronger in what way?
Like, so like when I was salvaging Adam's ship, I was able to watch like the rest of the like armor and hull go down, but it moved kind of real slow for like that to go by like fast, and then two, like once that was done, I guess like if the hull is empty, it should be gone.
It should be. No, it should de-res. That's supposed to be that. Yeah, no, we were doing things really
Shields backwards on the fish ship.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, cannot
Really?
Crash.
Alright, I'm gonna say that's the builder bot out of the table.
That's possible.
But
I'm
Alright,
yeah,
try it now. I'm not firing missiles now. Maybe that's a thing.
okay, give me a sec. But yeah, when I say, but to be more stronger, I think it should, it should eat stuff a little faster, especially if that thing is sitting still.
Okay. Okay, so...
Also, I'm starting to feel like a lot of times, ship is like disabled thrusters. Like disabled thrusters is not really disabled in any way that matters.
If you're anti-inertials, you can't turn, you can't do anything.
Yeah, you basically the reason why you're seeing it what's happening is because we don't have any kind of like damage from the ground. It's basically scraping yourself across the ground using your engines is not going to work once that is implemented.
Yeah.
I guess, but what I was also getting is the fact that, like, a ship in the middle of your base with disabled engines can still be a gigantic nuisance, especially if it has missiles.
Well,
That's
yeah.
true. I'm not
Yeah,
debating
so
that.
the ship should probably still consider it a threat as long as it has power and powered weapons. Engineless and weaponless, that's not a problem anymore.
Hmm.
I mean, it does kind of depend on the weapons, but yeah. All right, so every time I try and join now, I'm getting in for like a split second, then crashing back out.
Really? Okay. It's probably because you put missiles on the honor guard that may have done it, but because I was using it. Matt, what happens when you exit and come back in? What's actually eating it?
It's a location crash.
Okay. All right. Let's see if I can eat the ship now. Finally. Oh, he ate it. It's gone now. Woot!
That'll look cool.
Oh, you actually saw it?
I said that will look cool. No,
That
it's
will
good.
look cool. Fair enough.
It's about 2 to 5 minutes behind. It's a
Wow.
little further behind than usual today.
Okay.
But I'm watching.
All right. So we're calling it. Or are we trying to go back to an earlier save, or what's the intent?
I think so. We did kind of show the salvage. We kind of got some play in. We got some notes. If you want, I'd say either call it or round 2, fresh start.
Well, that's what I meant.
I would vote for calling it, and maybe we can poke at it, see if we can get a bug fix in.
Okay.
Any of this stuff.
Well, what I can do is one, I would say for the salvage ships, the definitely should still have an offensive weapon on it, because sometimes you gotta poke a little harder, if you know what I mean. So, for example, the disabled ships still have their shields up. Their engines are out, so they can't maneuver, and so they're toast that way. But I can't salvage them because the shields are up.
I think one of the
like
things we talked about is the idea that, like, maybe you can't be grabbed by the salvage beam with your shields up, but it should still affect you. I mean, like, say maybe like the salvage beam can break through shields over time, so it can't slow you down, but it will. But eventually, it can get through your shields, and then it can grab you. And that should be a balance, because you're right. Like a disabled shielded ship, like that's, again, in the long run, the player is going to weigh the cost benefit of sitting there with a ship and hitting it till its reactor goes out or its shield generator goes out, and then it loses shields, versus just ignoring it. And they're probably just going to choose ignore it.
Yeah.
Also, the salvage did come up on the stream, and unfortunately, on the stream's perspective, the ship just disappeared.
Yeah, no, I saw that. So there's a lot of work that still needs to be done on the salvage system, but that's a known thing. Like I said, we just barely got it running before the stream started.
Yeah. It's a good you know what? And it's already revealing some things we need to think about, like how it should interact with shields.
Exactly.
How effectively it should work. Because a counter to my own point of I think it should work faster is there's going to be higher levels of salvage beam.
Yes.
So that's countering my own point there. Maybe this is how the very first salvage beam should be.
Yeah, this is like tier 0. My gods, it had to be added because we need to test this kind of level, because we really had no idea what to set it to.
Yeah. So even though it's like kind of just barely, and like it's already revealing good data.
Yeah. All right. Well, since that's the thing, I guess that's that then. I'm just going to kind of drive over to your base to take a peek, just for ha-has on the stream, and then I'll exit out. One of the other things we need to do is, of course, the salvage, not salvage, but the reticle spam is a real problem. We'll do something about it.
Yeah, we put a lot of solutions on the table, but it's implementing them.
Yeah. Well, it's having time. It's like, okay, what do I do work on next? What do I work on next?
Right.
So.
That's why even I was saying, like, well, there's these quality of life things, but even I'm not feeling very certain. Like, is that the most important thing right now?
Yeah. No, you're not wrong.
I think it is probably going to still have to be like base, especially with our announcement that we're very excited about. It still is probably going to have to be base game components.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Quality of life. So the AI and the scenario system.
Yeah, AI definitely. Scenario system is another thing that I was working on. Okay. Well, then I'll cut it. Still like new HUD though.
Yeah, it is better. And thank you everybody for stopping by. It was especially you, Rich.
Most certainly.
We love you.
Yes. All right. I'll shut the stream down. But again, thank you everybody for coming. Bye bye. See you next time. See you in 2 weeks.
Thank you all.
We'll have more stuff for you. Thanks. And check out our Steam page and wishlist us. Always it could be a good thing. Thanks.